So welcome to the Lighthouse. I'm really happy to have this time with you. I'm so grateful that you're here, whether you're here live or whether you're finding your way to this session later on as a replay of some kind. In all regards, I welcome you to this Qigong gathering today. So right away, begin by presencing your body into the Qigong stance, bringing your feet to the width of your hips, relaxing your pelvis into the space between your upper thighs, relaxing your belly down into the gravitational pull of the pelvis, relaxing your heart out east and west and forward and backward and north and south, allowing your heart to expand inside of the space within your body, allowing your mind to simultaneously relax and expand, becoming as big as the sky. And so all this business of relaxing and expanding and opening is all about giving ourselves access to the soft body that's inside of the shell of the outer body, the soft inner body. So it's when we are in touch with and when we are moving with and moving as the soft inner body, it's then that we come out of numbness. And it's then that our body can become all eyes. And so that's really our muse for our flow today, is letting our body become all eyes, coming out of numbness, coming into the rapturous, ecstatic nature of the living moment. So feel yourself really softening, just being, okay? And give yourself permission to move slowly in today's practice, even in the moments when the movements feel intense. Give yourself permission to move slowly. And remember that to be slow is not synonymous in any way with being unproductive. In fact, when we have a relationship with that kind of meticulousness and with that kind of intentionality, we in fact, elevate the caliber and the quality and consistency of our productivity. So use these times, these moments, for all they have to offer us. So let's begin. I'm going to turn to the side and we're going to work with some lions kicking. So we're going to work with our left leg. I'm just going to turn this music down just a wee. We're going to work with our left leg. So my left arm is going to be in front of my left, or in front of my right arm, and I've got my wrists crossed. So watch here. I'm going to really be attentive to the staccato nature of the line that I'm creating. So I've tucked my left knee in towards the crossing of the wrists, and then I'm going to extend my arms somewhat, but not all the way, and then I'm going to contract and collapse and rearrange and pull everything in. Notice how I'm giving myself permission to move slowly, and then I'm going to open it all back up, pushing the left leg back, pushing the crossed forearms, wrists, and hands forward somewhat. And again, being attentive to the staccato nature of the line. So there is a point where it hits its completion energy. So let's do this together, okay? Allow the drawing of the line with the length of your legs. And in this moment, first on the left side, allow the drawing of the line through your leg to help you with definition and refinement in your life and in the way that you're embodying life in your body. So left forearm in front, tuck the left knee in, and then open it all up. Push down through the pad of your right big toe and feel the outside of your left hip rolling down towards the floor a little bit. Now pull it all in, even bending your right knee here a little bit, pulling your navel in. And then open it out, taking the lion's claws forward, hitting the completion energy of the line. Draw it in. Let's do two more. As I lose my balance, it's okay if you do too. So draw it in, really exploring how the movement is originating in your core and culminating in the core, even though there is this long line that you're making with the leg. One more, so collapse, drawing it in. Coming out of numbness. And then kick the leg back as the arms go, whoo, I'm struggling with my balance today. And it's always important to just make space for that. Now, bring your left foot down to the floor. So I've got my left foot out to the side at a right angle, and my right foot is still pointing straight ahead. I still have my left wrist in front of my right wrist, and I'm going to circle. So I'm bringing the crossed wrists to the inside of my left knee, and now to the inside of the right knee, and then up and overhead. To the inside of the left knee, to the inside of the right knee, up and overhead. Left knee, right knee, up and overhead. Left, right, and up and overhead. Good. Now we're going to face the right knee. Keep falling. That's all right. So I'm going to hinge forward. So now I'm reaching with my lion's arms forward. And now I'm pulling everything into the ball of the belly in a flowing, lyrical way. And then I'm going to take it back just a little bit and then forward. Pull it in towards the ball of the belly. Great. Letting this flowing energy be a teacher of fluidity and grace in every dimension of your life. A teacher of fluidity and grace. Every different characteristic and quality of movement is a teacher to us. Beautiful. Good, now face forward, step the feet to team up. Bring the arms out in front of you. Lift your heels just a little bit if you can. So we've been cultivating and calling in the energies of definition and refinement, of fluidity and grace through the teachers of flow and staccato. Good, so we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you don't actually have to turn, of course. I simply turn for visibility since we're creating intimacy through virtuality in this way, right? So right wrist in front of the left wrist. And we're going to work with the right leg, okay? So cultivating the flow and the staccato, okay? Bring the knee in. And then really bring energy from the center of your heart out to the ends of all 10 of your fingers. Push the crossed forearms forward. Roll the outside of the right hip down just a little bit towards the floor as you find the completion energy through the length of the right leg. And the staccato, you can almost hear it. Like it's inserted, it's plugged in. Now collapse and rearrange, pull everything in. In no certain hurry, you're allowing this permission towards slowness to create a meticulousness and an attentiveness that will feed everything. Kick it back. Push the crossed forearms forward. Elongate, extend, and expand through the length of the right leg. Good, let's do 2 more. So draw it in. And kick. Moving as nature moves, as you are nature. All the myriad ways that nature moves. Letting nature move in the multiplicity, the multitudes that you contain. I totally know that your left thigh and glute are probably burning, and that's great. So this is our last one. Woo. As I fall into the wall. Bring your right foot flat. Have the right foot pointing out to the side. Left foot hasn't changed in its alignment at all. So we're going to bring our crossed wrists to the right inner knee. Pass it through center. You feel the lion energy here. And then we're passing it through the inside of the left knee and then taking it up and overhead. Crossed forearms to the inside of the right knee, through center, to the inside of the left knee, and up and overhead. Right knee, fluidity and grace. The teacher, the movement is the teacher. The movement is the teacher of the fluidity and the grace. So even in this flow, do you feel the staccato of this moment right here? And how that is cultivating refinement in definition, in your awareness, in your attention, in your clarity. Good. Now bring everything up. So now the axis of the spine is parallel with the left femur. Bring everything up and back. And then forward. Check in with the way that your fingers are cultivating chi. Collapse and rearrange. Bring everything up into the ball of the belly. Inhale. Open it up. Exhale. Inhale. Comb the space in front of the body. Inhale. Let your body be all eyes, coming out of, you're moving away from any kind of sleepwalking and moving toward the ecstasy of the living moment. The living moment. We'll do one more after this. Bring your neck and your head through the full expression of the form. As you move your body, think of the way wind moves through plants, or the way the waves move through plants that are in the water. It doesn't stop at some point because the wind of the water got tired, right? Or bored with, or disengaged. The wind goes all the way through at the level of 100%. So this is our last one, right? Bring the arms up. Step your feet together. Beautiful. Slowly lower the crossed forearms, still as they are. See if you can lift your heels just a wee bit up off the floor. Now ground the heels as you bring your crossed hands and wrists out in front of your middle and then lower dantian. And then open the hands. Create small circles alongside the outer hips and thighs. Open, reveal the eyes of the palms to face forward for a moment. Fully alive. Like a cartographer codifying patterns of life in the terrain of your body. Open your awareness and your attention. Open your inner eye to this landscape that is coming to life through the grace force of the immense grace force of the practice. So moving right along, stand please on your left leg, and then we're going to trace as if the right big toe were a pencil. We're going to trace a line on the inside of the left leg. So it's right about now when you start feeling grateful that you did those staccato articulations of the lion's kick, right? Because it's giving you a sense of soft strength and stability in the center of your body as we move into crane. So I'm lifting my wings, I'm lifting my spine, I'm expanding my heart, I'm opening my mind. And I'm going to kick in that dance of eternity that's older than time itself. Kick the leg, the right leg in this case, right leg forward. Articulate all the way down to the staccato points of all the fingertips. Articulate, define, refine. Now take the leg, we're just going to pull it back through the center line. Collapse through the core of your body. And as the leg goes back, you're going to bend your wings, piking your elbows in towards the sides of the ribs and the sides of your hips. And then push your wings back. Bend at the wrists, so all 10 fingertips are now pointing towards the earth, creating a deep medicinal flexion in the wrists. Lift the right big toe up towards the sky. And just strike that timeless pose of the crane here for a moment. Even if you're trembling, it's okay, it's life force moving. So right now we've got this energy, this inner teacher in the movement, in the form of stillness, the teacher of stillness, which delivers contentment, which delivers peace into the center of every cell, into the movement of the mind, pulling us out of our habitual roles, pulling us out of the conventional patterns, and placing us in the dynamic meditation. Bring your right leg down. I know that was a long hold. Bring the right leg down. Unravel it. Have a moment of Wu Wei. It's the dynamic meditation that leads us to transform inertia into energy. Inertia into energy. Moving from sleepwalking, wherever that may be showing itself in your life, moving from sleepwalking into the ecstasy of the living moment, standing on the right leg. Come into contact with your core, open your shoulders, and then find your wings and trace with the pencil lead of your left big toe, trace a line on the inside of your right leg as you begin to lift the wings. So it's really easy when you do these sort of stable balancing forms to rigidify. But don't forget that the first tone that we set was to soften, right? And to soften so as to converse with the soft snail-like body that's within the shell of the outer body. Can you find the snail body? Can you slip around? Can you let it slip around inside of the hard outer shell? It's that kind of inner movement that creates the neurochemistry of victory in your body. Slowly begin to kick the left leg back. Begin to draw the bend of your winged elbows in towards the ribs and the hips. Your force of nature, don't forget it. Don't forget it. Stand on the right foot. Bend all 10 fingers down towards the earth for this variation. Lift the left big toe up. Stillness, the teacher of stillness is coming through this movement, bringing contentment, bringing peace. Tune in with your breath. Feel how so much already is unleashed. The practice, it unleashes the body, it unleashes the heart, it unleashes the mind and the soul. It unleashes so that we can discover. So that we can discover the dancer, the healer, the poet, the artist that is within us, that's always been there, but that's sometimes covered up because we are numbed out or walking around half asleep at the switch of this precious opportunity that's called life. Tune in to where wakefulness wants to discover itself a little bit more inside of the terrain of your body. And you as a practitioner, as cartographer, codifying patterns of life in the terrain of your incredible body. All right, so watch here. I'm going to demonstrate once and then we'll do it numerous times together. This is an elephant form. So I'm going to stand up really solid. Again, here we've got the energy of stillness, which is the teacher of contentment and the teacher of peace. And elephant medicine is really, talk about being codified. Elephant medicine is codified with that frequency, big time. So watch here, I've got the palms of my hands facing out and I'm soft. So even though I'm moving towards elephant, I still have that soft snail body that can move inside of the shell of the outer body in that organic and revelatory way. So I'm going to bend the knees just a little bit. I'm going to relax my buttock bones into the space between my upper thighs. I'm going to take the arms out as I rotate the palms. So now my palms are facing up. So I went from here, blades of the hands facing forward, to here, now blades of the hip. But did you see that? So I went through a backward rotation with the hands, which sends a message into the shoulders. Now I'm going to take the arms all the way up. I'm going to clap once they're at north. I'm going to bend my knees, hang my head back. Join my elbows here for but a moment. Now I'm really in my elephant legs here. I'm going to bend them deep and I'm going to swing my trunk over to the right. And then swing the trunk through the space between the legs. And then I'm going to press, I'm just turning to this side so you can see. I'm going to press my thumbs into this activation point, which is right between my eyebrows. And I'm going to park it. And I'm certainly not going to hold my breath. So right about here is when the energy of chaos is going to reveal itself to you, most likely. It usually does for most people in this form. The energy of chaos is always what? It's the announcement of creativity-seeking form. So when you feel chaotic energy start moving in your body, that's actually a moment to be excited about for all the reasons. It is the announcement of creativity-seeking form. So let's try this. Place the hands on the outside of your thighs and take a moment to just squeeze the long bones of the legs with the muscles. Drop your chin in just a little bit towards the pit of the throat. Again, we are doing all of this to create the neurochemistry of victory in our actions and in the way that we pay attention. Attention, it's the currency of this time. So, rotate your hands. Bend the knees just a wee bit. Be aware of the chi that you are caring for and that you are carrying, pulling, lifting, creating, drawing, painting with the calligraphy brushes of the arms. Join the hands, bend the knees a little bit more. Elongate and extend the spine out of the shell of the pelvis. Hang the head back. Join the elbows and the forearms together just a little bit. Lovely. Now, face forward. Take the trunk, your elephant trunk, to the right. Past the outer knee, past the outer thigh and hip. You don't have to touch, but be in that general vicinity. And take the elephant trunk up and overhead. And now pass the elephant trunk to the inside of the right knee and thigh, back towards the groin, and towards the inner left thigh and inner knee. Now, park it. Plug the thumbs into the activation point between the eyebrows. Seal the forearms, wrists, hands, and elbows together. Even though the elbows are going to want to float apart from each other, don't do it. And just sit in with the chaos. It is creativity announcing its presence, announcing its commitment to seek form within you. Inhale deep. Find some semblance of fluidity and grace in the definition and refinement of this intense moment. Now collapse.
So I'm giving you this form very strategically. I want you to have this form in your tool belt. Coming back up, coming back up, coming back up.
Because I know a lot of us are working with what now in mental health actually has a name, and that's re-entry anxiety. A lot of us are, and it's got a lot of different faces and a lot of different textures and tones, but so many, massive swath of the population is working with some iteration of re-entry anxiety. This form, elephant, is a powerful antidote. When you feel that energy, that chaotic energy of anxiety, or maybe it's showing itself as inertia, do this form a bunch of times and move the inertia so that it becomes energy. So you're allying yourself with the emotions that you're feeling, and you're steering. You're not just a pass-through for the biochemistry. You're actually consciously shaping the biochemistry. So again, that you're in the saddle of victory. So take this moment before we do the thing again to feel yourself as if you were seated up on a high horse, or literally as if you were riding an elephant. So if you were riding an elephant and you were in a saddle of some kind, your legs would be so far off the ground that they would just be dangling. And so your spine could sit up really straight because your pelvis is completely supported by the back, the strong back of the elephant. Feel how supported you are. And the support may not be coming from, directly from another person in your life, or maybe even not from a situation or a circumstance, but it is from you know that you are supported because of a frequency of knowing. A frequency of knowing that is permeating the way that you are seeing the reality of what is. So the legs are dangling. Can you feel that? Now feel the snail body inside of the hard shell of the outer body. Unleashing so as to discover. All right, so bring the palms of the hands to face away from the body. Slide your middle fingers down towards the outside of the knees in a way that pulls the shoulders down, compassionately, but certainly. Pulling the shoulders down and also pulling them out side to side, east to west. Good, now spread all 10 fingers. Open the eye in the center of the palms, and simultaneously also open the eye and the arches of the feet in the ecstasy of the living moment. Now, rotate the hands, bend the knees a little bit, lift the arms, giving yourself permission to move slow for all the ways that it helps you to become more intentional in your life and in your body, in your choice making. Bend the knees more, palms pressed, join the forearms and the elbows. Surrender, spread the shoulders, see if you can hang the neck back, zero strain. Zero strain. Good, now come back up and through. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And swing the trunk to the right. We always and only in this form swing the trunk to the right, as that's part of what's helping to cultivate the medicine of contentment and peace when chaos or anxiety might be presenting itself. So now swing the trunk through the inner space between the legs. Bring the trunk up. So now I've dropped my pelvis down so my buttock bones are on line with the knees. I'm going to insert my thumbs into the power point between the eyebrows. I've got the palms pressed, forearms pressed, elbows pressed, and I'm staring down the energy of chaos, and I am announcing to it that I am letting creativity find its form inside of me, inside of everything that is synthesizing and integrating inside of my body in this challenging moment. Push the shoulders down and slightly forward. Now bring the trunk down. Slowly begin from your navel. Begin to lift the legs, lifting the pelvis up.
crawl your hands forward just a little bit. Hang the head into the space between the upper arms. Draw your chin in towards the pit of the throat so that you can feel the long line of the spine. Good, now slowly come back up. Again, slowly, slowly. We're moving so slowly today.
Everything that is synthesizing and integrating inside of your body right now. Feel how actively engaged you are in the endeavor of this moment. Now place your right hand over your belly and your left hand over your heart. Let yourself breathe. Step the left foot in and then the right foot in. Just have a moment of stillness before we all go our separate ways. Feeling again the contentment and the easefulness, the steadiness, the stability, the support, the synthesis, the integration, and how it has all codified itself inside of you. And may you really have eyes today for all of the many ways that creativity may be announcing the ways in which it's seeking form in your life, in your environment, in your relationships, in the workplace, wherever that may be. May you have eyes for and ears as well for these announcements, and may you heed the call, and may you be an active participant in making way for that creativity. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you feel grounded and joyful and incredibly healthy. I'll see you soon. Sat Nam and Namaste.